Thank you for tuning into or watching the Choice, Change and Action podcast. My name is Simone Milasas and I am your host. Your choice creates your future. Every choice you make, action you take, you create a change for you and the world. Please enjoy this podcast. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take me too seriously. Don't trust me. Trust you. You are the one that knows what will work for you. And have way too much fun enjoying your choices. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2024, and thank you for being here. So I just recorded a podcast with one of the most cherished people in the world to me, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. And basically what we spoke about is what energy you can be to receive everything you desire. There's a tool called Need and Tug, and it's mentioned in this book, The Place, which is written by Gary Douglas. This book is available on, all those places that you can go to, Amazon, etc., Access Consciousness, the shop. It's also an Audible, and it's got Gary reading it really fast, and you can even hear him turning the pages. It's very adorable. So anyway, we talk about the tool of Need and Tug, and this podcast was just such a great way to start the year. We did a bunch of processes at the end as well in basically asking for what it is that we desire in the world and what contribution we can be. The one thing I keep noticing is that people have this point of view of like, oh, but I'm just one person. Yeah, you're one person and you are one very powerful, potent person. And every single choice you make creates a different future. So please enjoy this podcast. And I'm also going to do something and ask for your help. My request, my desire is to have this podcast like exponentialize. I would like it to grow at least 100 times more than what it currently is. So I'm going to ask for two things. One, can you follow us on Instagram? It's Choice, Change and Action is the Instagram. And also, can you jump over to YouTube, and it will be in the show notes, our YouTube, and subscribe to the channel, because the more subscribers we get, the bigger reach we can have. Share it with anyone and everyone. I would really like to have more consciousness in the world and more awareness of what's actually truly possible instead of the, Dios mío, the devastation, etc. We can change this, guys. We can really change this. So we have a lot of really great, show notes, because this podcast was so cool. I am so excited. And thank you so much for being here. To Instagram, and also please subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it with everybody you know. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I just pressed record and I was about to say, welcome everybody to Choice, Change and Action podcast. Welcome to 2024. Oh my goodness. And today I have Mr. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness and one of the most amazing, phenomenal beings on this planet that I have met. It's like, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here, Gary.
Thank you. And I will stick around a while longer, because I realized that I made a commitment long ago that until I knew everything, I was not going to die. I have to know everything before I can die.
I like that.
I still have a ways to go. There's a few things I don't know.
And you know a lot. I can pick a random topic and you can just and go off on it. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, you're amazing. So today, look, you have a telecall coming up, which I'll talk about later. It's on Need and Tug, but it's one of my favorite topics, and one I think that people get a little bit.
Well, it's like people have these definitions of need that are not reality. Need is when you know there's something that you desire, that you need, that would make your life easier. They think need is this place of upset, intrigue, difficulties, stress, and all that kind of stuff. And so when you go need and tug, they go, what the fuck are you talking about? When you need, you stress. So I had a conversation with Dane where we were talking about need and tug. And he said, I don't tug, I stress. I go, you do need and stress? Yeah. Well, if you need something, you have to stress. And
So
Didn't
you
get the
stress
point of
about
view.
it until it shows up. So you do Dios mío.
Yeah. Oh, Dios mío. You have, all kinds of upsets and intrigues and, things that you have to do and things that you have to be and nothing you're doing is right and everything is wrong. And oh my God, you know, those are all the basis off of which people try to create from in order to create from need and stress. Need and tug
Right.
is you need it. I could use this kind of money. I need $1 million. What can I do to pull that in?
Yeah. Well, you
Tug.
gave a another call that you did in, a long time ago was on deal and deliver. And at the beginning
Yeah.
of that call, I think you gave a great description because you were saying how with the business of access many, many years ago, you knew that you had a need for somebody to contribute and help you with the business side of things.
Yeah.
On the other side of the world, I'm having this need of going, I need a bigger world. Like this world
Yeah.
is not big enough for me. I need something bigger. And then the way you described it, I thought was so beautiful that you were tugging that in, I was tugging that in, and then we, and then no, and then we met, yeah,
Yeah.
and fulfilled that need and tug that was different for
Well,
both.
yeah. But what we did is we met each other's need. And the energy that we provided for the other was the tug, the tug that we'd been looking for.
Yeah,
And it's great. And I do
yeah,
need and tug all the time. Okay, I need some money. It's like we bought this house next door. We need some
mhm,
different furniture. I went to a place the other day. I saw these two pieces of furniture. They were nice looking, but who cares? I sat down and I went, oh, this is what I need. Because they are really, really, really comfortable and they're French and they're not antiques. They were in an antique shop, but they're style, antique style. And it's like, and when you find things that are really comfortable, I personally just have to buy them. I have no choice.
but see, even that, Gary, because most people will put up with something, whereas you, all around the world, whether it's the castle, the property in Costa Rica, El Lugar, your house, the house here, or
Yes.
anywhere, you will need and tug comfort.
Yeah, comfort, because I think that when you're in a house, you should be comfortable. And if you aren't comfortable, you aren't in the right place. And I want to make everybody walk in and go, ooh, ooh, comfort, you know? And it was really funny because I got a contractor for this house next door. Be the first time I've worked with a real contractor ever. Well, not ever, since I did my first house. And he was horrible. And I said, "What do I need to take apart?" And he says, "Well, you're going to have to remove these ceilings because we have to have access to be able to put in the new electrical for the lights you want and for the other stuff." And I went, "Cool. Now I'm going to ask for something. I need something in the Middle East, in Morocco, in particular. I saw this thing where they had this grid work of ornate carving around the outside of a window. And it was for people to, for the women to be able to sit in the window and receive the energy and the air without being seen. I went,
Mhm.
oh, I need some of those for those skylights that are on the ceiling, you know? And it's like, skylights on the ceiling, I could put those over them and then they wouldn't be offensive to me because right now they're just offensive.
So do you have them or you're asking for them now?
I'm asking for them. I need some of those kind of
Okay.
things.
Well, we have lots of people who listen to this show in the Middle East. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what
Please
Gary's
find me
asking
some of
for.
these carved,
Yeah.
beautiful carved screens that they put over in windows.
Yeah, I love it. But it's as simple as that because you always put requests out there. You actually don't hold back. You don't look at
Uh-uh.
what's appropriate, what's right, what's wrong. You literally have this tug in your world of, well, you have a tug in your world for more consciousness on the planet.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely that.
access
Need
consciousness.
and tug
Yeah,
is every day is okay. How do we get more consciousness here?
yeah.
And it's like, and it's like I've come up with a new process that I'm running on Dane, which is run on
Hmm.
the crown and the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the institution of all forms of awareness, desired or undesired.
Wow. Nice. How does it get any better than that? I love it.
Bringing it in for him. So it's like whether he desires it or not, he's getting all this awareness. And it's like, and he's loving it. He's enjoying it, which is very cute. And it has changed him in some strange way that I can't acknowledge or see.
Yeah, but I would also say need and tug, there's no linearity to it. Even though
Not
people
for
go,
me.
oh, so say you just said $1 million before, and there's this, people go to the linearity, but it's not linear at all. Can
Well,
you
I
talk
don't
about
need
that?
$1 million to buy the things. I need somebody to find the things for me. If they find them, great. If they don't, great. You know, unfortunately, I do have some Jewish blood in me. I'm Scottish. The Scots are the lost tribe of Israel. And they got to Scotland and they said, good, this is a green place. We'll live here and not wail at the wall. We'll just wail at the moon. And they're just, so it's like they are tight with a penny. And it's like, and I can be tighter with a penny than anybody I know. And it's like, it's okay with me. I like it.
So, Gary, I wanted to refer to your book, The Place.
Yes.
And there is a section in there where you actually talk about need and tug, right?
Yeah.
Now, the piece that I really like about this, and I'd love, once I mention it, if you could sort of talk us through, the difference. Like when there's this section in there and you talk, the young boys in the book talk to Jake, and they tell him, like, the difference between, say, having gold in your hand, feel that, and then you don't have gold in your hand, and then feel the lack of it, sort of thing. Now pull it in. And what I love about that is we know what it's like to have something, and we know what it's like to not have something. And I see so many people going to oh, well, I don't have it. And they are okay with that rather than really reaching and seeking something entirely different.
They don't seek what they desire. They wish it to come. As though wishing it is like, like, do you have a little, like pot that you can rub on and the genie comes out? No, I don't have one of those. Do you? So it's like, if you do, great. Please ask for $1 million from me too. But, but whatever, it's like literally people go to wishes as though that's going to create, I wish I had $1 million. No, you don't. I would like to have $1 million. How can this come to me? But that's recognizing your belief in it and having it come is what is important, not the need of it. The willingness
So
to
talk
have.
more about, yeah.
See, I'm willing for millions to come because I know there has to be more consciousness here. And I just talked with David Kubis, and they're going to find a way to get access bars into the wellness of the, of Saudi Arabia because they see the value of it. One princess learned bars. She did it on the king of Saudi, who had a stroke a while back and had been having problems. And after running his bars continuously, he doesn't have those problems anymore. And he's starting to return to who he was. And he's thrilled and he loves it. It's like, all it takes is one brilliant person to be willing to see what is and to change the world to make it work. And now they have a losing football team and they want to have a winning football team. So now they're going to try running bars because they tried, basically, flogging them before matches, and that didn't have any good effect. So now they're looking for something different.
But that's the difference, is when you try and make something and force something into place, there's not many results that can show up. And when a result shows up, people go, yay, rather than, okay, what if you just destroy and uncreate all of that? And I know all of the force and all of the control.
Yeah.
And can you walk us through, like, okay, so let me talk about this. But I know it's 2024 and it's like people have New Year's resolutions, which I'm like, every day you should be asking for what it is you desire. And yet there's still an energy where I tend to look at my life and go, okay, is it heading in the direction I would like? Am I creating and
Okay.
generating what I would like? And for
So
me,
hold a minute. Hold a minute.
mm,
Okay. So what if you didn't do that and you went, what else would I like to have in my life?
yeah,
What else would I like to have in my life? Instead of what don't I have? What else would I like to have in my life?
yeah,
What would be great? What would be fun? I got a kick out of my son is with a woman. He has 2 babies with her. And I call her my daughter-in-law only because it's easier than saying my son's 3rd baby mommy. You know, you know, daughter-in-law, and it's like, and I just thought it was very funny because here she is with these kids and she's a great mom and she's a great person. And I met her parents for the first time and
hmm
they don't particularly love my son because he has gotten her kicked out of her inheritance. What she was supposed to inherit, she will not get because she's with him, which
hmm
is sad. You know, so they don't like that occurred, but he won't make it up. He won't try to make up with the person that he offended. He likes to offend people. He's like his mother. She always liked offending people too. So at any rate, she, it's like they had come and they were talking about having these Nichols rugs, and that his mother, who had been married to a man named Nichols, but he had no other idea whether Nichols was related to the guy who did the rugs, but he had a couple of Nichols rugs. I said, I do too in my house. I brought him over and showed him to him, and he was not even interested. I went, wow, that's cute. He wants to be interesting by showing me that he has Nichols rugs. What are you interested? Are you interesting? So it's like with the, Jake having his ex-wife spend all of his money and he needed money. He needed the money. So how can we get it? We can take you out to where you can pull gold out of the ground and you can get the money.
hmm
And so he was willing to receive the contribution from the earth that the earth is willing to be to us at all times. And because he was willing to receive that, the gold came to him and
hmm
attached to his hands, and he brushed it off into the box and took it away and turned it into cash. So it's a different reality when you function from that, where you're willing to recognize, what can I receive? Because it's really the only thing that makes our lives poverty stricken is what we're not willing to receive. If you're not willing to receive something, then you're going to be poverty stricken in that area. If you decide you don't like anger and you can't handle anger, and I don't want to receive anger, then you are poverty stricken in that area. Now, what does that look like? Well, today I just fired my personal assistant because he had the point of view he was always going to prove that he was smarter than me. So he was trying to do things in a harder way to prove to me that he was doing lots of work. That
right.
worked for me. I think all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. I should get over myself.
Yeah, receiving ease, joy, and glory. And just in case you got a bit confused, guys, the story that Gary was referring to is in his book. And I'm going to put that all in the show notes, etc., of where you can find the book, and it's in Audible as well with Jake and the Gold, because it's such a
It's in different
brilliant,
languages.
the whole book is brilliant. What's that?
It's in different languages too.
It is in different languages, and this podcast gets translated into different languages. So there we go. So hopefully it's in your language that you're listening to.
I
But
think it's
you mentioned, sorry, if you
I
speak
think
the same time, no one can hear anything. What did you say?
I said I think it's in Italian now. I know it's in Spanish, and I think it's in 1 or 2 other languages as well.
Yeah, it is in Italian. It's amazing. And you actually, can we go further into receiving?
Yeah.
Because I do see people are willing to receive some things and go, ooh, like receiving a little bit more than others. What about like this intensity of receiving? Can you talk about that? And
Well, it's like if you're willing to receive everything. For instance, Jake's wife took his money out of anger, okay? So he
Mhm,
was willing to receive that it had been taken by anger. And he was willing to receive whatever it took to create a different reality. To be willing to receive whatever it takes to create a different reality.
Yeah.
I'm willing to receive whatever it takes to create a different reality. I'm not interested in having the same reality as everybody else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I've been asking for though too, is like I noticed already people were like, "Oh, can you do this?" and da 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 da. And I was like, what if we destroyed and uncreated the way we've done everything? And
yeah,
what else can we be? Like what else is possible with more ease, more joy, more relaxation? Like
yeah,
no force, no control. Like that's what I'm asking for to move into more. Everything is greater, exponentializes, but it's not
yep,
necessarily doing more, it's being more.
yeah. It's being more, and we want you to be more. And it's like, I'd like all of you to be more. And one of the things that I talked with Sean about today, he's come up with a method of taking the people that do the most classes and the most numbers of people and
Mm.
stuff, and using them as the people that get feedback, get
The
back
people who can get yeah, yeah.
the what is it? It's called a
Well, it's, affiliate program sort
baksheesh,
of thing.
affiliate program. Yeah, thanks. Baksheesh affiliate. Yeah,
Bakshish is tipping in India,
yeah.
but it's really bribing.
Yes, I know. That's a tip. You know,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
what we
In India, they used to say, "You need to pay bakshish," and I was like, "It's not a tip, it's a bribe for me to get my stock out of India." But anyway, yeah, I'm happy to do it.
yeah. So I thought it was funny because it's like he came up with a way because I said, I'm not happy about you wanting to get all these people who are supposed to be influencers. I said 90% of the people they have on their list are people that are not interested in consciousness. They're interested in money or human stuff. And it's like, I don't think that's our target audience. So they came up with this thing and they took the top 20 people and they're
Mm.
going to use them to start the process of getting our live streaming of the College for Expanded Awareness and Consciousness. And they're going to do that. And they're going to have a deal where they're going to give people who put up $10,000 will be able to get it for the rest of their lives for no additional cost.
So
That's
I'm
amazing.
sure yeah, and if it's out by the time this goes, we will have links below so that you can find out what the hell we're talking about because we have a lot of content. Access Consciousness has so much content. We are not short of
Yeah.
that. We have a
25
lot of
years of content.
exactly, and we call it like our historical content that's pretty much sitting there, and it's so brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So what Sean is putting together and a few other people is a way that you can access that. So if you have a lot of stuff going on about, most people think they have a problem with something, so they think they have a problem with money or body or relationships or business. There is going to be an absolute plethora of information available for you at an incredibly good price. So if that sounds very exciting to you, keep watching this space and we will let you know when and where and what and how that is available
Not
for
that
you.
we're going to let Simone be an affiliate because, oh, yeah, we are.
Yes. Yes. I'll just get the word out there no matter what. Because for me, my such a big request in my world is well actually let's talk about this because I was talking to a friend yesterday and it was really interesting because the energy that almost makes me want to cry now. The energy that comes up for me is the need and tug of what I can contribute to the planet. That's a
Yeah.
really big thing in my world.
Yeah. But the thing is, the contribution to the planet is really the consciousness that you choose. That's
Yeah.
one of the greatest contributions you can give to the planet, and you don't even realize it. I mean, I sent 13 of my family members out on a horseback ride at the ranch,
Mhm. Mhm.
and all of them did great, and all of them loved it, but it wasn't long enough. They want a longer ride. I said, okay, we can arrange that. I said, I just didn't want anybody to be exhausted or get hurt. And there
Mm.
were people that 5 people hadn't been on a horse ever. And there were several people that hadn't been on a horse in 10 years or more. So it's
Yeah.
like I was trying to make sure they didn't get hurt. Okay. And it's like,
But
it was
but can I say, I'm getting that, Gary, that you sending 13 people out on a horse ride on the ranch with the horses literally creates more consciousness on the planet. Like
yeah,
yesterday, I was at this friend's house and it's right near Mount Coolum here, and their backyard is literally Mount Coolum. And I was standing there just going, wow, you have this mountain as your backyard. And it was
yeah,
incredible. And one of the things I was acknowledging was me just standing there acknowledging Mount Coolum creates something greater.
yeah. And it's like one
It's
of the things that I think is interesting is like in Australia, you have 25 million people in Australia. We have
mm,
25 million in one city in the United States.
I know.
You
We
know,
have a lot of space.
you have a lot of space and you have a lot of space for people to be. And
Mm,
there's a different reality that can be achieved with that. And you have the majority of your, your minerals and stuff have been kept. They haven't been sold off. Ours have been. Most countries have sold off their mineral deposits and stuff. Ours hasn't been, nor has Africa. But the good news is the Americans are going in to buy Africa as much as they can, and the Chinese are going in to buy as much of Australia as they can, and as much of America as they can. So it's like
mm.
we'll have an international turmoil of magnet. It'll be great.
Do you know, there's a lot of, but here's I mean, this is need and tug as well. There's a lot of people who are, I mean, I think 2020 created this place where people could sort of just go, hey, not on my watch. And there's
Yeah,
a lot of things like that occurring. Like yesterday, I was at a restaurant and I paid for it with cash. And they said they went, you've got no idea how many people are starting to pay cash. I'm paying everything with cash that I possibly can, because there's this big thing where they're trying to, stop the cash in Australia and in different areas of the world. And people are like, no, not happening. Like from
yeah,
everywhere, people are
yeah,
paying cash, and it's awesome. But so you can't, like, if one person, every choice you make today creates a change and creates a difference in the world. Like, don't think
exactly.
you're just one person. It's bullshit. It's like
Yeah,
that your one choice can create a different future.
yeah, exactly. And it's like I love it because I keep giving money to Robert Kennedy Jr. You
Mm.
know, and it's like, and I send him money, and he says, "We can't take it. You've already spent too much this year." I went, "Okay." So I say to her, "Find somebody else's name to put it under, and send it to
Yeah, I was
me."
gonna say do it under somebody else's name. Yeah. But that's the need and
That's what
tug
I do.
of someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so what need and tug can we do starting the new year, Gary, like together with
Um,
everybody?
I have one I'd like to do. So
Please.
one of the things here in the United States that we have a difficulty with is we have Lyme's disease, which is supposedly a result of a tick that eats on deer. Now, I want to do everything we can to change the deer so that the ticks won't eat on them ever again and die out. And
Okay.
Lyme's disease goes with it. So everything that doesn't allow the the deer to have an immune system that eliminates Lyme's disease, can we destroy
Mhm.
and create all that?
Yeah.
Right
From
and
right and
wrong.
wrongs, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Good.
See,
Now,
that's cool. You can perceive the energy, the difference of that.
yeah, yeah. And this
What?
is what we want to do. And also, can we do everything possible? Let's do everything possible to eliminate the land mass. There's a land mass as big as Texas, I think it is, that is in the middle of the Pacific that's made out of plastic. And
Mhm.
everything doesn't, and it's like, and what happens is when those plastics get together, they have an effect on the ecology. And the end result is that that only female fish come out of breeding, no males.
Hmm.
So it's going to over amp the female population, under amp the male population, and create a disharmony and disembowelment of
Not about, yeah,
balance.
not a
Okay.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything that is there that doesn't allow these things to go away. and dissipate
Mhm.
and become
Yeah.
microchips for returning to the ocean. Everything that keeps them in, because plastic is silica, which is sand, and it's also H2O and also petroleum, CO2. So everything that all of those elements can be now separated to allow that landmass to disappear. Can we now destroy and uncreate all that? Right and wrong, good and bad.
Wrong,
Pod.
good and bad, pod, pod, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds.
Wow. Thank you.
Wow. Jesus, that's so cool. Like you can so perceive the energy. I'm like,
Yeah.
what else? What else can we ask for? What else
Yeah.
can we ask for with okay, so I watched this documentary. Unfortunately, I don't think you can watch it in the US. I want to show you when you come to Australia. It's called Rachel's Farm.
Uh-huh.
And she used to be an actress. She's married to Brian Brown, who is an actor also. But she had a hobby farm in Victoria, and she just kept looking at it and asking questions and what she could do for the land and blah blah blah. So this whole documentary is about the regeneration of the earth and realizing that the whole farming industry and how with the farming industry what we were doing is not creating anything greater. In fact, it was destroying, everything. What's his name? Ted Savory talks about it as well. But that regeneration and creating the CO2 in the soil, and you should see her farm now. It's amazing, and they've got all these places in Australia that are opening up where it's about supporting all those farms who are creating the regeneration and buying from them, etc. Like that sort of movement is occurring, and it's really cool to get that out there. But with the soil, like what can we literally contribute to the soil around the world and allow the soil to regenerate
Well,
and have like a billion worms and
yeah. So everything that doesn't allow us to contribute to the earth and everything that the earth asks of us that we forget to give it, can we destroy and uncreate all that? Also, by the way, the earth
Mhm.
does like it when you fart. Okay. It's okay. So
So
it's okay.
fart away, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, and
So
it's like when the cows fart, it's not destroying the ozone layer, which they think it is, but it's
they
bullshit.
actually talk about this in this documentary as well, like and how the things that we thought were destroying versus what's actually destroying, but then how to work with the cows and how to move them around. It's really interesting. It's so if
So
you can find it,
everything,
it's called Rachel's
go for
Farmer.
it.
I mean Rachel's Farm.
Everything.
Mm.
So let's everybody look to what we can do as individuals,
Mhm.
and let's see what can we
Yeah,
contribute to the earth that we haven't contributed to the earth. And on three, give everything you can to the earth that the earth
yeah.
desires to receive. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Gary, thank you so much for being here. I am ugh, beyond grateful. Gratitude, the word gratitude doesn't actually even match what it is. It's
It's it's small version of
yeah,
gratitude.
yeah,
What you
yeah.
say has a small that the big version of it is everything that comes from you as the being, and that I
I
am
was
grateful
just
for.
yeah, I was just about to say the way I will show you my gratitude is by being even more and being even greater with every choice I
Yeah,
make.
yeah.
Giving it my best fucking
I love
shot.
I love your wallpaper
Oh,
with
thank you.
the subtle,
The dandelions.
lines on it, yeah. It's
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah, yeah. It's good for the background. So, Gary, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me. Brett, Georgia in the background, thank you for going over to Gary's and making sure that he was on camera, etc. I'm super grateful for you guys. I'm so
I'm
grateful for
super
every
grateful for
single
you
person.
guys too, because I could not do this if I didn't have you. Thank you.
Thank you. All
And
right.
thank
And
you,
I'll
Simone, for being in my life every friggin' day, every minute of every day. You are a gift of magnitude. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. I'll see you soon somewhere. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.
Well, did you like this podcast? Love it? Hate it? Inspired by it? Can you do me a favor? Can you please write a comment, share it, like it? If you are listening on Spotify or Apple, could you tick a few stars for us, leave a review, It's all such a contribution, and I am immensely grateful. Follow us on Instagram at Choice, Change and Action, and drop into our DMs and let us know what you would like next. When you subscribe to the show notes, you will receive a brief summary and any questions or tools we used and links to anything we discussed during the show. It might make your life easier. What if we asked for that? A life of ease, joy, and glory.